Kleinfelder is an employee-owned science, architecture, and engineering consulting firm providing solutions to meet our world's complex infrastructure and natural resource challenges. Working as a team, our bright people will deliver the right solutions.
Within the risk analysis and toxicology practice, we do a lot of things well, but if I had to just pick 3 or 4, I would say we're strongest in human health and ecological risk assessment, in toxicology, risk communication, and we're developing a strong portfolio in statistics, applying statistical principles to risk projects. What separates us from other companies? I think we're somewhat unique in the fact that we've got a lot of bench strength. Okay, the risk practice is maybe 5, 6 people, but we have professionals in several technical communities throughout the company that we can tap into as we need them. People who do things like air dispersion modeling, groundwater modeling, chemical fate and transport, remediation engineering. So it's not just a few of us practicing in a very small area. We've got really a pretty large team to bring to bear on the projects that we do. I think another area where we're particularly strong is that we stay active in national and international societies, groups that develop guidance, develop policy, develop methodologies in human health and ecological risk assessment. Kurt Franson in our Rocky Hill office is active in the Interstate Technical Regulatory Council. Both Kurt and I have leadership positions with the Society for Risk Analysis, and I also serve on the American Industrial Hygiene Association Toxicology Committee. So we're very committed to giving back to the fields in which we practice and making an impact in those fields of practice. Well, one thing that we're trying to develop when I talk about expanding what we're doing in risk is kind of a field called risk-based asset management. And that really involves looking at a facility, for example, a refinery, and evaluating the risks that that facility may face. And those risks can come from any number of areas, from terrorist attack to corrosion to disgruntled employees to bad corporate PR. Risk-based asset management is a tool for understanding all of the risks that a business faces and really focusing on developing risk management plans to maintain what they call operational stability. Maintaining an operation that's profitable, that's growing, that serves its employees and its markets and its communities. And you can do that under this umbrella of what we call risk-based asset management. Risk analysis is also good for, as I said, operational stability in a business, but also for helping that business allocate resources. You know, a business gets a budget every year. They have to make decisions about, how am I going to spend this money? How am I going to get the most return on my investment? Risk analysis is a great way to rank those things a business needs to do, the business needs to think about, the business needs to protect against. By ranking the risks that they face, they can then allocate the money and the time that they have available to the things that matter the most, and then backing off what's spent on things that matter least. And it's going to be different for every business. Every business has its own risk appetite. For example, some businesses love tons of risk. They don't care about threats. They're going to chase the business no matter what. Other businesses are very risk averse. They don't want to take chances. They don't want to waste money. They don't want to gamble. So a risk analysis is a great way and a transparent way for any business to kind of account for or accommodate their own risk appetite and then allocate their resources in an optimal way. Within the risk analysis and toxicology practice, much of our work is driven by real estate transactions. For example, someone wants to buy a piece of property, they want to sell a piece of property, or they want to develop that property for a certain purpose. Oftentimes these properties have histories. There have been chemical releases there. So someone who wants to do something with that property needs to know what chemicals have been released, how much has been released, and maybe most important is, what do they need to do about that? Risk analysis is a great tool for deciding, do I have a problem on my site? How bad is that problem? And then starting to frame the question, what am I going to do about that problem?